Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Friday, April 24th, 2026. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures are currently higher. The Nasdaq's been higher all night, and there's a couple of stocks pulling the Nasdaq higher. The Dow was negative most of the evening, and here we are back positive on Friday morning. Now, crude oil was higher on Thursday evening, but it is rolled over. It is now $1.88 lower in the pre-market on Friday morning, and gold's up slightly on Friday morning. Now, on Friday mornings, I like to print off some weekly charts just to see how we're doing coming into Friday's trading action. The stock market has been very quiet all week. Commodities, of course, have had their volatility. The VIX is currently having an inside week. It's trading higher. It's certainly going to be trading lower when the market opens on Friday. Crude oil is up 7.16%, while gold is down over 3%. Gold's having an inside week, so still on a weekly sell signal, no change there. Now, the world is watching the price of copper closely. Copper may not be mined in the Middle East, but there's an acid that is used in the production of copper that is in short supply at the moment. And if things continue the way they are in the Middle East, we may see copper miners start to slow down and the supply of copper start to diminish over the summer. Looking at the S&P 500, very quiet week, just down 0.25%, while the Nasdaq, being led higher by the chips, is up just under 0.5% for the week. The Russell 2000 almost unchanged, very quiet week for the Russell. Then looking at the Canadian market, we're down 1.26%. Right now, so certainly not changing direction this week. Then looking at the gold sector, still on a weekly sell signal here, looking at almost an 8% decline down to the lower channel line. Looking at the energy sector, inside week for the energy sector up 5.87%. Now, the financials, pretty quiet week, down just a little over 1% on the week, so no change there. Now, a big reversal in the transportation sector after making a new high. A lot of this volatility has to do with just one stock. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Semiconductors up nearly 5.5% on the week. A lot of stocks involved in that movement. Looking at the semiconductors, looking at the daily charts now, Texas Instrument up over 20% on the week, Marvell up over 20% for the week, ON Semiconductors up over 20%, Global Foundries up over 20%. And now this morning, when we look at the Intel chart for the week, it's just been treading water. Yesterday was an inside day. And what do you know? This morning we're popping higher. And when I've taken this particular quote, we were up over 26%, nearly 27% for Intel. So it's going to open higher. And so if you had any orders in, they're certainly going to get filled at the open on Friday morning. Now, on paper, the transportation sector looks like it's got whacked this week, and the index and the ETF are both back on sell signals as of Thursday's close. Unfortunately, a lot of the recent gains and certainly all of the recent losses have to do with one stock, and that's Avis Budget. We talked about the amazing ride this stock has had over the past month or so, and of course, we always encourage people to sell into strength and not hold on to the end. You hold on to a partial position to the end, but not your full position because stocks usually fall faster than they rise. So this huge move down in Avis over the past few days has pulled the index down, but some of the stocks are still doing really well. There's only a few transportation stocks that are actually down on the week. So there's Ryder Systems, there's CSX, there's Union Pacific, all doing very well this week. And one stock that we talked about previously, as the transportation sector was falling, was Southwest Airlines. And we were looking at Southwest trying to hold the flypaper channel and this level of support here. So what was resistance on the way up should act as support on the way back down. But then when we finally broke the flypaper channel a few days ago, we tried to break out above it, couldn't break away from the flypaper channel, and now we've come back down. So what was previously that we thought was going to be support looks like it's now acting as resistance. So that trading activity from December and January now looks like it's holding Southwest Airlines in check. And there we are, second day of a new sell signal for Southwest. as of Thursday's close. Now, previously we were trying to hold 37.50, and you can see that we certainly traded below it, but we didn't break away from 37.50. So for the last couple of months, we've been in a range, 37.50 area at the bottom, and then 43.75 at the top. And now we're back. Looks like we may retest the recent low, and if that breaks, then you can look down to 31.25 as a possible target for Southwest. Now, looking at the VIX for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell, they all traded above the upper channel line on Thursday, but did not hold those levels. And so coming into Friday, we're still on daily sell signals for the VIX. And with the futures trading higher this morning, we're expecting the VIX to trade lower. Let's finish off today's presentation taking a look at commodities and copper. The futures contract still on a buy signal. The ETF still on a buy signal, while miners are on a sell signal right now. Looking at the price of gold, it is on a sell signal joining the GLD. So there's the futures contract. There's the GLD. On a sell signal, joining stocks already on a sell signal, whether you're looking at gold stocks in New York or Toronto or the small caps. Then looking at the price of silver, the futures contract back on a sell signal, joining the ETF on a sell signal. Silver miners already on a sell signal, junior silver miners already on a sell signal coming into Friday's trading action. Now, the crude oil futures contract is back on a buy signal, joining the ETF already on a buy signal. Gasoline made a new high yesterday. Natural gas, not so much, nothing going on there for the price of natural gas at the present time. You can see the public is still in control. It doesn't look like the pros want to take control on Friday morning. And looking at energy stocks, we've got energy stocks on the TSX. Back on a buy signal. We also have energy stocks in New York back on a buy signal as of Thursday's close. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation, and that's all for me for this week. If you're a member, I'll be back to speak to you on Sunday. If you're not a member, we can meet back here on Monday morning, and we'll take a look at Friday's trading action. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your weekend, and thank you very much for your time and attention.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.